Imagine this: you're standing in the middle of a bustling city, the noise of life swirling around you, but inside, there's a quiet storm. Everything feels uncertain, heavy, and you're drowning in the rush of responsibilities. In that moment, your mind drifts not to the demands of today, but to a time years ago. You're a child again, surrounded by family in the comfort of a familiar home. The sun is setting, and there's laughter all around. It's a time when the world seemed simpler, your worries were fewer, and your sense of self was strong. As you recall this moment, something unexpected happens. The weight on your chest lifts, just a little. Why? Because in that nostalgic moment, you're reconnecting with a part of yourself that feels powerful, whole, and resilient. But here's the paradox. In a world that celebrates progress and forward momentum, why do we so often find ourselves reaching back into the past? Why, when the present feels overwhelming, do we instinctively turn to memories that are, by nature, gone? What if this emotional anchor isn't a form of escapism, but a lifeline, a bridge between who we were and who we are becoming? What if the key to surviving the future lies in our ability to reconnect with the past? Recent scientific studies are beginning to unravel a fascinating truth. Nostalgia is far more than just a sentimental longing. It's not merely a passive emotion or a way to escape the present. It's a powerful psychological tool that plays a crucial role in building resilience. In fact, when we feel vulnerable or uncertain, our minds don't just yearn for the past, they reach for the strength, the stability, and the hope that our memories represent. These memories, it turns out, aren't just comforting, they're essential. To understand how nostalgia functions as a powerful tool for resilience, we first need to dive into the science of memory. Memories are not static recordings of events stored in the brain like pictures in a photo album. Instead, they are dynamic, malleable constructs. When we remember something, we're not simply recalling a snapshot of the past. Instead, the brain reconstructs these memories by weaving together sensory details, emotions, and contextual information from various regions of the brain, including the hippocampus, amygdala, and prefrontal cortex. This process is not perfect. It's influenced by our current emotional state, new experiences, and even biases. Nostalgia, then, is a form of selective reconstruction. It's the brain's way of drawing on past experiences and shaping them to provide a sense of emotional coherence and stability in the present. It's not about a purely accurate recollection of events. It's about reimagining the past in a way that offers comfort, hope, and strength when we need it most. The term nostalgia itself comes from the Greek words nostos, homecoming, and algos, pain or longing. It was first coined in the 17th century by a Swiss doctor named Johann Hofer, who used it to describe a medical condition experienced by soldiers longing for their homeland. Initially, nostalgia was seen as a form of melancholia, a disease of the mind, akin to homesickness. However, over the centuries, the perception of nostalgia has shifted. In many cultures, it moved from being viewed as a disorder to being regarded as a source of emotional healing. In ancient Greek philosophy, nostalgia was often linked to the human longing for eternal truths or an idealized past, a search for meaning in a world that constantly changes. The desire to return to a place of emotional security is deeply ingrained in the human psyche, as it ties into our need for continuity and identity. Nostalgia, as we've come to understand it, isn't just a longing for the past, it's a deep philosophical desire to maintain a sense of self in a constantly shifting world. In recent years, nostalgia has experienced a resurgence, and modern science is starting to recognize its relevance in mental health and emotional resilience. Researchers have found that nostalgic memories can actually combat negative emotions and reduce feelings of loneliness, anxiety, and depression. People experiencing stress or trauma may unconsciously turn to the past to help them navigate through their challenges. In fact, nostalgia has been shown to activate areas of the brain associated with positive emotions, such as the reward system. In contemporary psychology, nostalgia is even being used therapeutically to treat conditions like PTSD, where patients are encouraged to reconnect with positive memories to stabilize their emotional state. In today's world, plagued by political instability, societal fragmentation, and digital overload, nostalgia offers a form of emotional grounding. Whether it's revisiting childhood memories, listening to songs from a simpler time, or rewatching a favorite old TV show, people are increasingly finding solace in the past. In times of crisis, be it personal or societal, nostalgia provides a much-needed anchor, a reminder of the continuity of self amidst the turbulence of modern life. In 2016, a pioneering study conducted by researchers at the University of Southampton brought new insights into the power of nostalgia. The study found that participants who engaged in nostalgic thinking during a stressful situation, such as giving a public speech, showed significant reductions in cortisol levels, the body's primary stress hormone. These individuals reported feeling calmer, more in control, and experienced improved mental fortitude when compared to those who did not engage in nostalgic thinking. This groundbreaking experiment provided solid evidence that nostalgia is not just a sentimental, fleeting emotion, but a powerful psychological tool that can help regulate stress and enhance resilience. It suggested that revisiting positive memories from the past can provide a sense of stability and self-assurance, reinforcing the idea that we are capable of overcoming adversity, just as we have done in the past. However, this discovery raises a critical question: is nostalgia truly enhancing emotional well-being, or is it simply serving as an emotional escape, masking the present's difficulties with a comforting illusion of the past? If nostalgia offers a buffer against stress and negative emotions, does that mean it's just a temporary distraction that prevents us from confronting the present and moving forward? The dilemma lies in the delicate balance between using nostalgia as a source of strength and relying on it as a crutch. While nostalgia can certainly bolster resilience, its deeper impact, how it shapes our identity, influences our decision-making, and even alters our perception of the present, is more complex than initially thought. Is it a tool for growth, or does it trap us in a cycle of yearning for what can never be fully recaptured? The darker side of nostalgia emerges when it is overindulged. While a brief return to the past can offer comfort and stability, a prolonged focus on better times can prevent us from growing or adapting to new realities. There's a risk that excessive nostalgia may create a rift between who we were and who we are becoming. By continually clinging to the past, we may find ourselves disconnected from the present, unable to embrace change or engage fully with the world as it is now. This can stunt personal growth, limit emotional resilience, and even exacerbate feelings of isolation. It's not just about whether nostalgia can be harmful, it's about how we use it. If nostalgia becomes a primary means of coping, it can leave us unable to tackle the challenges of today, creating an emotional and psychological gap that's difficult to bridge. The real question then becomes, how do we strike a balance between using nostalgia to fortify our present selves and allowing it to pull us away from the future we need to create? At the heart of the discussion lies a profound philosophical debate. Is nostalgia merely a form of escapism, or is it, in fact, a crucial component of psychological resilience? Some psychologists argue that nostalgia serves as a psychological defense mechanism, an emotional retreat into a simpler, more secure time when life felt more manageable. From this perspective, nostalgia is seen as a temporary balm for emotional wounds, a way to shield ourselves from the harshness of the present. But others take a more optimistic view, suggesting that nostalgia is not an escape, but a tool for growth. From this standpoint, revisiting the past isn't about avoiding current challenges, but rather about drawing strengths from the experiences that helped shape who we are. Philosophers have long pondered the tension between living in the past and building on the past. The former represents a static relationship to history, one that could limit personal growth. The latter, however, suggests that memories should serve as a foundation upon which we can build our future selves, not as a place to retreat. This dichotomy is central to understanding nostalgia's role in human experience. Is it an anchor that holds us back, or a springboard that propels us forward? Nostalgia is not a universal experience in the same way across cultures. In many Eastern philosophies, such as Buddhism and Taoism, the focus tends to be on living in the moment and avoiding attachment to the past. These traditions view nostalgia with skepticism, suggesting that an overemphasis on past experiences may prevent individuals from fully embracing the present moment and achieving spiritual enlightenment. By contrast, in many Western cultures, particularly in individualistic societies, nostalgia is often viewed as a valuable resource, a means of reconnecting with one's personal identity and roots. In these societies, memories are seen as a way to assert individuality and preserve a sense of continuity in the face of rapid change. This cultural divide raises important ethical questions about the role of nostalgia in modern life. If nostalgia is essential for personal identity in some cultures but considered an attachment to be avoided in others, where does that leave us? Is there a danger in idealizing the past, in romanticizing it to the point where it distorts the reality of the present? And if nostalgia serves as a foundation for individual and collective resilience, in some contexts, does it risk overshadowing the need for present-day solutions? In today's digital age, the experience of nostalgia has shifted in ways that are both profound and troubling. The rise of social media, constant connectivity, and the perpetuation of throwback content has introduced a new form of nostalgia, one that is often manufactured or artificially induced, rather than nostalgia emerging naturally from our personal memories. It is now frequently curated and presented to us through algorithms and marketing strategies. For example, platforms like Instagram and Facebook are designed to trigger feelings of nostalgia, whether through curated photos, memories from years ago, or ads that tap into our past experiences. This manipulation of nostalgia for commercial purposes raises significant ethical questions. Can nostalgia be weaponized to induce emotions of longing, encouraging people to make impulsive decisions or purchase products that they might not otherwise consider? And what are the psychological consequences of a constant, curated look back on emotional well-being? While nostalgia has been shown to reduce stress in some instances, is the curated, commercialized form of nostalgia more likely to induce feelings of dissatisfaction as people compare their current lives to an idealized version of the past? Perhaps one of the most powerful aspects of nostalgia is its role in fostering social connections. Shared memories have the ability to unite individuals, strengthening relationships in times of collective hardship. Think about a group of friends reminiscing about their college days, or a family revisiting old photographs during a reunion. These shared moments of nostalgia not only bring people together, but also create a sense of mutual understanding and empathy. In times of crisis, whether personal or societal, the act of remembering shared experiences can provide a sense of stability and emotional support. Nostalgia, in this sense, is not just an individual experience, it's a social phenomenon that can help to build trust, deepen bonds, and foster collective resilience. Shared nostalgia offers a communal source of strength, reminding individuals that they are not alone in their struggles. In a fractured, often isolating world, these moments of connection, where past experiences provide a bridge to the present, can become a source of collective healing and hope. Just when it seemed that the role of nostalgia in personal resilience was fully understood, a surprising twist emerges. Recent research uncovers that nostalgia may not only serve the individual but also function as a powerful tool for collective societal strength. In times of national or global crisis, whether political upheaval, economic recession, or social unrest, groups often turn to shared memories and cultural symbols from the past as a unifying force. It's a phenomenon that transcends individual experience and becomes a collective healing mechanism. For example, during times of political instability or economic collapse, people in certain countries have been observed to gather around historical events, songs, or cultural symbols from a time when the nation was perceived as stronger or more united. These shared nostalgic moments are not merely acts of remembrance. They act as anchors that help societies maintain cohesion, foster a sense of shared identity, and bolster collective resilience in the face of adversity. In this way, nostalgia doesn't just help individuals survive, it becomes a catalyst for group survival, offering a means to stay united even as the present becomes more chaotic and uncertain. The twist deepens when neuroscientists reveal that nostalgia doesn't just provide emotional comfort, it literally changes the way our brains respond to stress. The act of reliving positive memories, it turns out, can trigger neuroplasticity, the brain's remarkable ability to reorganize itself, forming new neural connections and pathways. This process is critical for adapting to new challenges and stressors. When we engage in nostalgic thinking, particularly during moments of vulnerability or stress, the brain doesn't merely soothe our emotions, it rewires itself, enhancing our ability to cope with future difficulties. Studies show that nostalgia stimulates areas of the brain associated with positive emotions, memory, and reward, while also activating the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for executive function and decision-making. This neural response has profound implications. By revisiting the past, we aren't just taking comfort from memories, we are actively reshaping our brain's response to adversity. making us more adaptable and resilient. It's a dynamic process where nostalgia serves not just as an emotional anchor, but as a neurological tool for resilience, enhancing our capacity to handle stress in the present and future. And here, the central contradiction is resolved. Nostalgia is neither a passive indulgence nor a harmful retreat into the past. Far from being an emotional escape, nostalgia is an active and scientifically backed strategy for psychological resilience. It is a tool that operates on both an individual and collective level, allowing us to reconnect with our strengths, adapt to present challenges, and find solidarity in shared history, whether experienced alone or within a community. Nostalgia is a means of psychological renewal that strengthens our capacity for emotional endurance. Instead of keeping us stuck in the past, it allows us to use the past as a foundation upon which we can build new forms of strength and adaptability. This realization reframes nostalgia not as a nostalgic longing for what once was, but as an essential mechanism for psychological growth and social cohesion. Through this process, we come to understand that the past is not just something to remember, it is something that continually shapes and empowers our future. Over the past several decades, our understanding of resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, has evolved significantly. Once seen as an innate trait or a matter of sheer willpower, resilience is now understood as a complex interplay of psychological, biological, and social factors. Central to this shift is the growing recognition that memory and nostalgia play a pivotal role in shaping our capacity to withstand life's challenges. Research on nostalgia has illuminated its role as more than just a sentimental feeling. It is, in fact, a profound biological and psychological mechanism that helps us process past experiences and build emotional strength for the future. Neuroscientific studies have shown that when we engage in nostalgic thinking, our brains release neurochemicals like oxytocin and dopamine, which foster a sense of well-being and connection. Meanwhile, the brain's ability to rewire itself through neuroplasticity means that nostalgic memories do not merely soothe, they equip us with enhanced adaptability to future stressors. As a result, psychological practices are increasingly incorporating nostalgia as a therapeutic tool. Techniques such as nostalgic narrative therapy or memory reconsolidation are gaining traction, helping individuals reframe past experiences and use them as resources for healing and growth. The science is clear: nostalgia isn't just a pleasant emotion, it is a critical element in the broader process of resilience and recovery. So, how can we consciously engage with nostalgia in a healthy, purposeful way? The science supports several strategies that can help individuals harness the power of nostalgia to build mental strength and foster resilience. First, revisiting old photos, videos, or mementos can trigger positive memories, fostering a sense of continuity and reinforcing feelings of self. Taking time to reflect on past achievements, whether personal or professional, can bolster self-confidence and motivate us during challenging times. Engaging with family traditions or reconnecting with long-lost friends can also strengthen bonds and provide emotional grounding. The key is to approach nostalgia not as a way of escaping the present, but as a means of drawing strength from the past to improve the future. It is also essential to avoid the trap of overindulgence, using nostalgia as a crutch or constantly living in past glory. Instead, we should use these memories to build a sense of self-coherence, reminding ourselves of the resilience we've shown in the past and the lessons we've learned along the way. Practicing gratitude for past experiences, while also embracing the present moment, can create a healthy balance that allows us to move forward with renewed energy and strength. The implications of nostalgia extend far beyond the individual. In times of national or global crisis, shared memories can serve as a collective resource for healing and unity. In times of war, economic hardship, or political polarization, societies often turn to nostalgic narratives to restore a sense of national identity and pride. Think of the stories that a country tells itself about its past, how those narratives help to foster a sense of collective purpose and resilience in the face of adversity. Shared nostalgic memories, whether tied to historical events, cultural traditions, or national symbols, have the power to unite people and strengthen social cohesion. In the aftermath of crises, these collective memories can offer hope and remind citizens of their shared history, reinforcing the belief that they can overcome difficult times together. The therapeutic potential of nostalgia on a societal level is not just a theoretical concept, it's already being used in real-world applications. For instance, post-conflict societies have turned to collective remembrance and cultural rituals to heal from trauma and rebuild unity. Could nostalgia be used more systematically as a tool for collective healing, fostering national unity, or addressing societal divisions? The science suggests that, if harnessed thoughtfully, shared memories can offer a path forward, promoting well-being on a broader scale. As we conclude this journey through the science and power of nostalgia, we are left with a deeper understanding of its role in our lives. If nostalgia can strengthen us in times of hardship, what does this say about our need for meaning, identity, and continuity in a world that is constantly changing? In a society that emphasizes progress and forward momentum, we are taught to look ahead, to strive for what is next, and to leave the past behind. Yet, paradoxically, it is often the memories of the past that provide us with the emotional strength to face the challenges of the present and future. Our memories are not simply echoes of what once was. They are active forces that anchor us, provide a sense of continuity, and remind us of who we are amidst the chaos of the world. They are not just records of survival, they are blueprints for resilience, reminding us of the strength we've had and the strength we are capable of having again. In the relentless pace of modern life, we may feel the pressure to forget the past, to always move forward. But perhaps true resilience isn't about moving on or leaving behind, it's about remembering, reconnecting, and using the past as a source of guidance and strength as we navigate the future. And so, we are left with an open-ended question. Is resilience not just the ability to face the future, but also the courage to carry the past with us, to use it as a source of strength and guidance? To truly be resilient is not merely to endure or survive the present, it is to honor the past, to understand how it shapes us, and to recognize the power in those memories that can propel us forward. Perhaps resilience isn't a linear process of growth, but a cyclical one, where the past, present, and future are intricately woven together, each influencing and informing the other. As we reflect on the role of nostalgia in our lives, one thing becomes clear: our past is not just a static record of what we've been through. It's an active, dynamic force that shapes who we are and who we will become. It is not a collection of bygone moments to be tucked away and forgotten. It is a living, breathing part of us, constantly informing our present and guiding our future. In the moments of struggle, when the weight of the world feels unbearable, we may find the courage to go on, not by looking ahead, but by reaching back to the memories that remind us of our resilience, our capacity for growth, and the strength we carry within. Our past is not merely a backdrop to our lives, it is the foundation upon which we continue to build, adapt, and thrive.